Morning, everybody. So today's assignment is the final submission for your Cold War project. Today's Thursday, April 9th. This is due tomorrow. Um, we have one task, and it's the Cold War project submission. Now, some of you already submitted, but I would like to have it on just like one area where I can just go back to look for it, so I'm not flipping through it and I lose your assignment. Because I really don't like digital. I really like more like hands-on. But what can we do? So we have one task, and task one is a checklist/catch-up. So before you submit, some of you are already given the go. If you were given the go, just submit. If you haven't, this is your checklist. To use the checklist to make sure that your Cold War project has the following. If you are missing any of these components, please make sure that it is done before the submission. So, 3 things for the checklist is that your piece is told in a creative way. Now, if you just gave me the 5 W's and like a written piece, I told you to go back into it and find a way that you can retell this part of history. So, for example, if you could have done it like you could have assumed the role of a reporter. You could have done a newscast, like newspaper, if you're doing the written part, or interview someone. You could have many people like chose to interview like historical figures. That was cool. You could have done the podcast, and you could have done the TikTok. All right, my favorite. You also need to make sure that you have a historical background in your piece. Don't just throw us in there in a piece like in a dialogue, because you're gonna lose the reader. Make sure you have you give them a sense of like, this is what happened before, and then this is what's happening now. And a historical event. Make sure you're focused on one piece of history. They're in the Cold War, and it has the 5 W's. Remember, you have to, the way you retell history or tell any story is as it's like if you're speaking to an older person who's unaware, or any person who's unaware of something. You have to make sure that they know who's who, they know what happened, who was involved, where it happened, and why it happened. And then the impact. Okay, make sure that you keep this very not subtle, but like it's in there as well. How is this event like impacted anybody? Like, why you bring this up in the first place? Okay, that's your checklist. Make sure that your final pieces have that. And an announcement: if you haven't done your Cold War research, I will be on Google Meet today at 2 to 4. This is my office hours for assistance, and I will walk you through the assignment. And I will reach out to you as well if you've missed any assignments. Okay, it's important. As always, turn in your assignment. Make sure you press that button. And that is all. Wait for further instruction. You guys can relax if you finished. The rest of you, here's your checklist. It's not a lot. It's 3 things. Just make sure you have it. There is no limit to the podcast or the TikTok or the script. Just make sure you have these components and you're fine. Okay? As always, reach out to me if you need any help or you need assistance. Good luck.